All right, let's go to WrestleMania 13. It goes down March 23rd, 1997, Rosemont Horizon. We've talked about this long form in the archives. We'll hit the high notes here, though. Bret says he got to the arena about 10 a.m., and Vince had just told Austin about Bret's heel turn that day, and Austin and Bret just sat on the ring apron, sort of blankly staring at each other, and then they just started to put the match together. Bret told Steve, what would really make this a great match would be for you to get a little juice. And Steve said something like, I've never done that before, but would be willing to give it a try. And Bret said, I'd be the first guy to tell you never let someone cut you, but in this situation, you're going to have to trust me. I'll do it right. And Steve agreed. This is all directly out of Bret's book, but what I found interesting about this, Bruce, is I just watched Wrestle War 92, and Austin is bleeding a gusher. Do you remember Austin being nervous about bleeding here?
Well, no, and no one knew that they were getting color in this match, and it was not something that was approved by the office or anything else.
It's interesting to note that the next day on Raw, when they showed up, of course they meet with Vince in his office, and he asked them both if they purposely got juice. They both denied it. And Vince says Bret never asked, or Vince never asked Bret about it again, at least according to Bret. How much of this would have gotten discussion in the office? I mean, are guys fired up about this, or is the match good enough where people just sort of give it a pass?
Well, obviously it was given a pass, but yes, we did look at the tape, and we did look at the ISO tapes and saw where Bret got it and where Bret gigged him. So it wasn't something that was even really hidden well from the cameras. And that was just kind of Vince, again, being a little disappointed that they lied to him. He gave him the opportunity, come clean. Just tell me if you did.
Of course, Bret made Austin pass out in the sharpshooter, and the referee, Ken Shamrock, stopped the match after about 22 minutes. An amazing match, 5 stars. Really something else. Here's what Meltzer wrote. Austin began choking Hart with an extension cord, but Hart got the ring bell and clocked Austin with it. Hart finally got the sharpshooter on and held it for a long time. At one time, it appeared that Austin broke it, but Hart maneuvered back into position, and eventually Austin passed out from the pain, and Shamrock called the match. Hart still got a largely babyface pop for winning, but the crowd began to turn on him as he attacked Austin's knee after the match, which cemented Bret's heel turn. Shamrock then got behind him and suplexed him. Hart and Shamrock squared off, and then Hart backed off and left the ring. And this was the coup de grace in heel turn, and the crowd booed him heavily. Austin eventually revived, selling the knee big time, but still gave another ref a stone cold stunner and left the ring limping with the crowd chanting his name. This is one we'll remember for a long time. 5 stars. When Bret got to the back, he walked past Taker, who smiled and said something like, hell of a match, man. No chance in hell me and Sid are ever going to be able to top that. And we covered this match in our WrestleMania 13 episode, but I'm glad we got to talk about it again, Bruce, because this is my favorite WrestleMania match in history. And I think you could make the argument that it's top 3 all time, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. And it is a textbook version of a double turn, but just, working your character, staying in character, and that being enough to take people on this wonderful ride that they did. Off the charts. Kudos to both guys, all 3 guys. Shamrock, I'll throw Shamrock in there too, who did a great job. First time in that big stage.
I know Austin has said in his book, this is probably his favorite match he's ever had, but what was the reaction backstage? Is everybody sort of in awe for this, or is everybody pissed off about the blood instead?
No, I'll tell you what, when it first happened, everybody thought that the blood was a hard way. Cause we didn't see, the bump on the outside where Bret got it and everything. So when Bret hit him with the, bell, we thought that, oh, hey, it's a hard way, but God, what drama. It's beautiful, man. This story that they're telling. I think everybody was more into the great story that they told and that roller coaster ride that they went on through that whole match. It's just, I'm gushing because that is one of my favorite matches of all time.
I think it's everybody's favorite.